I'm Annie Becerra. I'm the Artistic Director of Striding Lion Performance Group, and we are in tech for Remember the Alamo, which is our big, huge multimedia dance theater installation that looks at the story of the Battle of the Alamo, which was a big, huge monument to a defeat, they call it, in 1836. There was a battle between the Tejano and Texian rebels fighting for Texas independence, and the Mexican army led by this legendary Mexican dictator, Santa Anna, who styled himself as the Napoleon of the West and actually called himself that. And growing up in Texas, that's a big, huge element of sort of this state creation story. So it's told to us in very mythic, heroic terms, at least back when I was in 7th grade Texas history, it was told that way. There's been a lot of debate and sort of reworking of that story since then on the educational front. And what we're looking at in this show is a little bit of that, a little bit of how it is told to 7th graders, how this hero myth and this morality tale is crafted, and also sort of looking at the why and the how it's been mediated through pop culture since 1836. So we're looking at 175 years, and this is being celebrated in big form in the state of Texas, and how it's been retold over that 175 years. So we're using in the projections and in the text that's spoken and sung in the piece actual source material from the heroes, the quote heroes themselves, from Davy Crockett, from Jim Bowie, Colonel Travis, from some lesser known Alamo defenders, Micajah Autry, and all of these people are then real historic figures who have been recreated in movies. The sort of biggies are 1960s. John Wayne's The Alamo Company is this big, huge 3-hour epic retelling of the event with all kinds of crazy historical inaccuracies and really interesting stuff like the men stepping out of the Alamo mission into the cantina that is literally right next door. So we have a cantina over here, stage left. We have lots of cantina women who are dancing around in sort of flirtatious ways, which seems to me really bizarrely incongruous with the actual story. And then we're looking at sort of crazy, really racially charged images from the Walt Disney's Frontierland, Davy Crockett images, and looking at that sort of side, these folk hero mythology surrounding Davy Crockett and Jim Bowie. They both had these 1950s and 60s black and white television series based off of them. They were Indian fighters. Jim Bowie is a notorious drunk. There's just all kinds of great, crazy folklore around these heroes. And then there's this really interesting, these troubles, that are in the actual looking at the event that we're looking at. So what does it mean to draw a boundary and a border? What does it mean to claim a nation state? To be a patriot when the state itself doesn't really exist? And sort of the backstory, there's all kinds of stuff leading up to the Civil War with this, so there's lots of questions about was Texas taken by the Anglos in order to have another Confederate state? Certainly, when the Declaration of Texas Independence was written, it was claimed as a slave state. Mexico, slavery was illegal, so there's lots of interesting questions around there that are the backstory, not really the front story of this piece, but that are there. So it's more a performance of, as I said, the story of the story than the actual history, and really sort of investigating why this really tragic event has been the source of so much heroic, mythic, poetry, song, images, graphic novels, toys, just really interesting sort of questions about the commercialization of history that we're looking at in all kinds of ways, dancing, singing, throwing bodies through the space.